Number 2. Lana, read for us. Virgilio, read A.
Function h of x equals 1 over 4 parentheses x minus 6 parentheses 0.5. The transformation of value of x.
Okay, so basically if you think about it, I'm going from the polynomial function to this rule that I need to create. So I'm going to write these letters right above it. And that way I can kind of see if anything is happening. Kind of hard to see, but I wrote the letters there. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to create a rule here. So A is 1/4. And with A equals 1/4, then I can use my rule that it applies to the y value. So x, y, and the A value that I just found, 1/4, it goes in front of the y value. Okay, there is no D value. There is no B value because there's nothing to the left of the x, so no B value. And then the C value, pay attention, it's what? Positive 6 or negative 6?
Positive.
Okay, remember the formula has this minus sign, so you kind of ignore it, and you get C is equal to positive 6. The C value, you add that to the Y. So plus 6. Okay, so this rule now, it says complete the table, so I can complete the table. So all my x values, I'm just going to add 6 to this. So if you want, you could do something like this. Negative 2 plus 6. Negative 1 plus 6. 0 plus 6. 1 plus 6 and 2 plus 6. So that's applying the plus 6. Remember, the multiplying by 1/4 is the same thing as dividing by 4. So really it's kind of like y over 4. Does that make sense? So I'm going to take all of the y coordinates and divide it by 4. So 16 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4. 0 divided by 4. 1 divided by 4. And 16 divided by 4. Okay, let's just simplify. Class, what's negative 2 plus 6? 4. What's negative 1 plus 6? 0 plus 6. 1 plus 6. And 2 plus 6. Okay, now I'm just going to simplify the y coordinates now. So this is really essentially 1/4 times this y value, or the y value divided by 4. So 16 divided by 4 is 1 divided by 4 is 1/4, or you can think of it as 1/4 of a dollar. That's 25 cents. 0 divided by 4? 1 divided by 4. And 16 divided by 4. Let's go ahead and pick a color. Let's pick pink. And now we're going to go ahead. It says graph the function 1/4 x minus 6 to the 4th power in the same coordinate plane as m of x. I'm going to take a look at my coordinates. Looks like they're counting by 1s, even though I see 2s here, because if I count each box, 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to go right 4 on the x-axis and then up 4 on the y-axis. Right 5, up 25 cents. Right 6, stay. Right 7, up a quarter. And right 8, up 4. So my new graph kind of looks like this. Now this problem didn't ask us to explain what was happening, but let's just say they tell you to describe what's happening. If the A value is 1/4, it means it's between 0 and 1, and that tells us there's a vertical compression. What does vertical compression mean? I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's getting a little bit wider, right? I know you think it's wider this way, but the compression is this way. So if I take this original graph and kind of just squish it down, it's going to get wider this way. The C value of +6, if you go to C here, you look at your chart, C6 is bigger than 0, so you have a horizontal shift to the right, 6 units. So we've done A, we've done B. Is the function even, odd, or neither? Well, they're looking at h of x, which is the pink. Remember, even is if you can fold it in half. Odd is if you can rotate it about the origin 180 degrees, and neither would be none. So the answer is neither. You can figure this out in 2 ways. You can do the graph. So not symmetrical about the y-axis. Not symmetrical about origin. This is one way of figuring that out. The second way is if you just do the star, sub x for sub and negative x for every x value, sub negative x for every x value. If you put it in here, you'll realize once you do all the math, it's not equal to the original, and it's not the opposite of the original, so it will be neither.